Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Power of the Tribe. He has served as the board of directors for Shriners International. His books include Campaign for a Better Life, Campaign to be a Better Leader, Quotes for Leadership Success, and his newest book, My Shriner's Diary, is all about filled with his work working with helping others, sick children who often can't pay, and helping their families heal and also thrive in a very, very difficult time. This is my favorite. This is a quote. As my world was my backyard. As a child, my world was my backyard. Today, the world is my backyard. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Gary James Bergenske.
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 It's a hard
Yay,
one.
good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I knew I might have mumbled that a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, Gary, say your name really proudly.
I'm sorry?
Say your name really proudly, so this way I can shift on this.
Gary Bergenske.
Bergenske. Okay. Good morning. Thank you for being here. So, this whole summit is about inspirational leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And there's absolutely no question why I was being gifted you to be part of this summit. So, what is your secret to living life to the fullest, connecting with people, and having some fun along the way?
Well, you have to have fun along the way, or it doesn't become relevant to you. But I'll tell you that connecting with people and working in a leadership role is something that becomes a passion with people. I firmly believe that you can accomplish about anything you desire. But it takes work, takes passion, commitment, takes love of it. And there's so many opportunities within the world to really excel and do well. And those people that desire that, it's there waiting for them.
That's amazing. And the whole commitment, being rigorous,
mm-hmm.
but also finding something that you're passionate about is absolutely something that is so important, don't you think?
Well, it really is. There's some folks that, leadership is a very talked about subject. And how do you achieve leadership? And in my mind, you achieve the capability of being a great leader by doing a number of small things. You build relationships with people, right? You do your homework, and you are a good presenter in what you're talking about. You're a great communicator. There's a number of things. I mean, you just don't become a great leader. You become a great leader because of the attributes and the things that you do. And if you enjoy doing those and become passionate about it, of course, it becomes a normal way of life. It becomes a piece of what you do, as opposed to trying to do it. You just do it.
You just be.
Right. So, one great thing that I found about leaders is a great leader is somebody who inspires others to do things that they wouldn't normally do by themselves. But just think about it. You inspire people to do things that they wouldn't normally do. You've led them down a trail, right? So, and then really the way to really judge a great leader, I found, is not when he's in office. The way you judge a great leader is by how those that were part of his team continue in their roles once you're no longer the leader. Because if you've done their job, they continue to aspire and be great in their own way.
That's going to lead me to another question here then. So, and we spoke about this a little bit off camera. So when it comes to, and has been, the role of mentors in your life, what does that look like?
Well, I've had a number of mentors, and I really give the credit of my success in most everything I've done. And I've owned a business in the Orlando area for 35 years. I've done great work along in different community organizations. I achieved the highest role in the entire organization of Shriners worldwide. There are 250,000 members, served as their CEO. And I really attribute that to a number of men that have mentored me along the way. And in fact, there's 7 of them that I really have identified that these guys are people that help me achieve my goals. And I actually have one right here on my desk. I got those 7 names under the glass here of the men that have done that. And it starts with my father, and it's several there. And the final one is President Jimmy Carter, who I've become great friends with. And he has really been an influence on things that I do. But these mentors, and everybody has them, right? But you got to have mentors that are positive, they're inspiring, they encourage you and push you to do more. And these mentors are people that guide your life. And when I have hard decisions to make or things that I'm really thinking about how I'm gonna do it, I look at these 7 names on my desk. What would this one do? What would this one do? And I tell you, by the time I go through those names, or usually before I get through all of them, I pretty much have the answer of what the right thing is to do. You know, doing the right thing is not always the easy thing. We all know that, right? Doing the right thing very often is the hard thing. But you got to look at where you're going to come out on the other side of doing the right thing. And it's always a much better playing field when you do that.
And that's absolutely one of the things that differentiates a leader from someone who's just in the drift and following.
Yeah, because if you don't do the right thing, I mean, it's easy not to do the right thing. It's easy just not to even to address it, just let it go by. But it doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't give you the influence on people. It doesn't give you a position of integrity where people look up to you. I mean, when you get a leader, people got to look up to you. You know, it's been said, you know, great leaders are people who have those people in their inner circle who want to help them. They want to make it so they don't fail. Not because they have to, because they want to. If you have to help somebody, there's a little pushback. But if you want to see somebody succeed, they're all in for you. And that's how great leaders are made, by building that inner circle of people who are ready to go, Johnny on the spot, to do anything possible, right, to not make you look bad. And that's what happens.
And then we talk about that point of always having fun. When you actually surround yourself with people, that whole place of being with others, that truly is part of the absolute fun.
Absolutely. And in the fun, you know, as you build an inner circle or relationship with a number of different people, not only do you build that leadership, working relationship, you become friends. And, you know, I think women in particular, and my wife reminds me of this all the time. Women have a special knack, a special talent of building relationships, much more than men. Men, you know, I've experienced men going through leaderships. They're thinking about what's their goals, right? How they're going to attain this? What's the money? What's the membership? What's all the things, right? And my wife talks about it. And all women talk about, what's your family like? How many kids you got? What are your grandkids? What at school do they go to? So women are great at building relationships. And I can tell you that much of my success has been having my wife on my side, helping to build relationships as I'm all trying to do the grunt work, you know, and she's been very successful at it.
How many years you've been married?
We've been married 20 years. We both were married before. We have 6 children. We each had 3. And each of the 6 children are within, the youngest is within a year of the age, each other's age, and so on. They're all within a year. 3 boys, 3 girls.
Wow.
We both had custody of them. They're all in school, and we became known as the Bergie Bunch, similar to the Brady Bunch.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, the Bergie Bunch with our 6 kids all going through school. And we're very fortunate. They've all done great. They've got great jobs, and we're all very proud of them.
Congratulations on the hard work.
Yeah, and that's all part of relationships too, you know? It's all part of building and leading and inspiring, you know, within your own family. And I think the women play a great role, or the biggest role probably, in that family relationship connection with nurturing a great family.
And it's all about the team and being able to support each other in your strengths and especially in your weaknesses.
Right. It is. You know, I found most failures of leaders, or is an organization or a project or something you are working on to develop, if it's a big ball or a dance or something, whatever it might be. Most failures come from lack of communication. If people don't communicate their ideas, they don't communicate who has what responsibilities, there's a big risk for failure. But if everybody's on the same page and everybody knows what their part is and they all do it, you're lining yourself up for great success. And that goes just not in a project, but goes in your own life. You know, the life you're trying to mentor, your children. Communication is so key.
So let's talk about a little bit. Okay, so here's a big one, because I do want you to I want you to go into a little bit about Shriners, but with this then, how has your inspirational leadership changed the world?
Well, Shriners, a lot of people know about Shriners, but you'd be surprised how many don't. So Shriners began in 1872 as a men's fraternity. 50 years later, in 1922, they opened their first children's hospital, treating children that had polio. And that has grown into 22 buildings or hospitals within the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and over 150 clinics around the world that treat children regardless of their family's ability to pay. So it's a huge network with nearly $1 billion per year budget of taking care of kids. So the money is raised in a number of different ways, but having the opportunity to be a part of, not just a part of that, but eventually to be the CEO of both the fraternity and the hospital, brought with it great rewards and made you very humble, knowing what the forefathers of this organization had created to give me and others the opportunity to give back to the world, to these children, in a way that we did. So you working down two roads, kind of, right? The fraternal side, trying to build membership and build leadership and mentors and that kind of thing. And the other side of the road is building this healthcare system of taking care of kids. Probably the most rewarding things in my life was being able to, in the position that I held, to actually be able to meet very closely some of the children that we treated and their parents and their families. And to feel the gratitude that they had, that their children were being taken care of in an expert pediatric way, regardless of their ability to pay. And I can tell you that going into some of the countries, the year I served as the Imperial Potentate or CEO, my wife and I traveled to 19 different countries. And we in America are very fortunate with the healthcare system that we have. Because really, nobody goes unserved. When you go to some of these countries, if it wasn't for the Shriners or other missions that go there, these children simply would not be taken care of at all. And so when you go to a country like that and you are part of an organization that takes care of these children, and feel the gratitude from the parents, not only of taking care of their children, but of the love and affection that they give to you for doing so. And it touches your life in a way that just inspires you to do more and more and more and more, because of feeling. It's not about money. It's not about reward. It's about the love that you get back from helping other people. And I think that's really another component of being a great leader, is that you are humble enough to appreciate the gratitude of others. Because if it's all about power, you turn a lot of people off. But if it's leadership, humbleness, giving back to the community, and it doesn't have to be in a volunteer position. I mean, giving back even in your own workplace, your own family. If you have that mindset, right, of that type of personality, people are going to jump on board to help you and be your friend. So that's kind of a little quick synopsis about Shriners. I could go on for hours about it.
I'm glad that you gave us more awareness. I mean, it's something that I know of out here, but I don't truly know all of the details and how extensive Shriners is. And that's amazing. So walking the line, which I think must have been difficult, from being the CEO to then still getting to touch the people. Was that a challenge?
From after being the CEO or during the time?
During the time of getting away from the doing and still getting to connect and be with the people that actually, and the children.
So you're splitting your time. So just to give you an idea, that year that my wife and I served, we were home about 30 days the entire year. Okay. We worked as volunteers, giving back our time. And during that time, I mean, there's a number of board meetings. There's a number of different serious things we're doing. There's hospital and clinic visits. There's a lot of fun time. But I can tell you, one of the greatest things of being part of a large organization like that, I mentioned we went to 19 different countries. We didn't go anywhere but what there wasn't people waiting at the airport to pick us up. And all of our schedules and transportation, everything was handled by those Shrine members that lived in that area. So by having the top official of the organization come, you get spoiled pretty well. And I mean, it's just a great thing because it's that outpouring of love. But you're becoming an inspiration. You have a platform to be a great inspirer, motivator in that position. But you also, if you abuse that platform, you can actually turn it the wrong way as well. So you've got to take that balance. You can't be too power. You got to be humble. You got to be genuine. As my wife keeps telling me, you got to build those relationships, right, that the ladies do. And it's just a great experience. And we feel like we had a good year. We feel like we were able to move the needle a little bit in the right direction. It's a big ship that you're trying to drive. But the book that I wrote that you mentioned, I actually wrote it at the recommendation of President Jimmy Carter. He did it when he was president. Kept a diary of every single day what we did, every country we were in, what we did every single day. And eventually it turned out at the end that we turned it into a book that's for sale.
I can't wait to read it. Okay, so what's because the book came out mid to 19, right? This year?
Yeah, it came out this past July, about 6 months ago.
Okay, so what's for 2020? We're not only looking at a new year,
right?
We're looking at a new decade. What's in store? What can we look forward to seeing?
Well, so now that I'm not on the board anymore, right? So I own this business in Orlando. I'm back to going to work. I can't stay home all the time because my wife is working hard.
Your wife will drive you crazy, right? She's like, you need to go to work.
Right. So I had been doing some public speaking and some motivational kind of stuff and writing books, before I got on this Shriners International line, which, by the way, was an 11-year journey from start to finish, 11 years. So I'm really looking forward now to getting back into book writing and doing some more speaking.
So how much of a segue and how great is it that we actually get to have you today?
Have me what?
We get to have you as a guest and an inspirational leader. So I'm glad you were able to make this shift in your life because we get to enjoy you and get to hear you.
I'm so thankful and glad that you reached out to me. It's a social media and the ability that we all have today through the internet is really great. And you think back just a few years ago, people pretty much only knew the people in their own community. And even Facebook with what it does. I mean, I keep up with many of my high school classmates, as we all do, or college classmates, right, through social media. So it's nice that we met through social media. We were able to do this. And I just want to say that the project that you are working on and the goals and the vision that you have set to help women is very inspiring to me. You set up something really great. And from talking to you, I can tell you've got the passion and the commitment to make it happen. And I'm inspired by it, and I wish you all the best. I really think that you're onto something that's going to touch and help a lot of lives.
That means a tremendous amount, and thank you. And I will continue to look to your leadership and the books that you have, and to put that name under my desk as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
So Will you come back and visit us? We're in our when we kick off our year-long journey? Come pop in and say hello.
You just let me know when. I'm here to help you. You know, I enjoy helping other groups that are trying to help people, and that's what I see you doing. And I'm here to help you, and you just let me know when.
Thank you. Happy holidays, and we'll see you soon.
All righty. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.